Good morning, class. How are you? Good? It's nice to hear that. Can you all please stand up and we will pray in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Before you sit down, can you please pick up the pieces of paper under your chair? Thank you. So seems like we have a perfect attendance today. Good job, class. Okay, so before we proceed to our discussion, we will watch first a video entitled A Little Free Library. Please give your full attention because later after the video, I will be asking you some questions. Is that clear? Okay.
Stephanie Briggs, Christopher Luna. Congratulations, Christopher. I'm so proud. Well, Christopher, they want to accomplish it. It's an honor to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Your book is my daughter's absolute favorite.
Oh, I love that.
How's the video, class? Good? Okay, so based on the video we've watched, what do you think will be our lesson for today? Anyone? Just give your guess. Books? Can be. Reading? Anything else? None? Okay. Our lesson for today is about the genres of literature. So your answers earlier is somehow related to our topic. Good job. Now class, can you get a 1/4 sheet of paper and then you write two statements, one being the truth and one being a lie. Like for example, there are various of genres in the literature. So for me, that is a one fact. And the second one is drama is under the non-fiction. And for me, that is a lie. Did you get it? Okay. I will give you 3 minutes and then we will check later if what you have written are correct. So don't worry, class, this is not graded. I just want to know if you have background or past knowledge about the literary genres. Okay? Okay, so we will read first the objectives of our lesson. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the significance of literature and understand various literary genres. Second is to develop ability to read and analyze a literary text. And third is to expand language awareness and develop the four macro skills. So we have two kinds of literature. We have the fiction and non-fiction. So let us tackle first the fiction. So fiction is a written narratives consisting of people, events, or places that are imaginary. In other words, not based strictly on history or fact. So it is a literature created from the imagination. Okay, we have the first genre, which is the fantasy. So fantasy is the genre in literature that includes magical or supernatural elements as part of the plot, setting, or theme. So fantasy works can often combine the world with a second fantastical reality, such as Harry Potter series. So do you watch that movie, class? Well, some of you have watched it. So it is where the protagonist grows in the contemporary England and is only introduced to the world of magic at the age of 10. Beauty and the Beast is also an example of a fantasy. So let us guess what is next to fantasy through hearing this.
Dreams that I wish will come true.
Do you have a guess, class? Okay, anyone? Okay, so it is a fairy tale. So fairy tale is a type of story which intends to excite the reader's interest by presenting impossibilities as possibilities. Fairy tale seems to refer more to the fantastic and magical setting or influences with a story. One example of a fairy tale is the movie Cinderella. So, who among you have watched Cinderella? Wow, most of you have watched it. Very good, class. So the next one we have drama. So drama refers to the performance of written dialogue and stage action. It is a literature genre that allows actors to act out a writer's words directly to an audience. So when we hear this, what comes in our mind first? It is a drama. So let us again guess what is the next one through hearing this. Okay, so what do you think it is? It is? Very good. Horror. So horror is a fiction which is intended to or has the capacity to frighten, scare, disgust, or startle its readers or viewers by inducing feelings of horror and terror. The next one we have fable. So fable, a short fictional story that has a moral or teaches a lesson. Fables are humanized animals, objects, or parts of nature as main characters. Fables features animals, plants, or forces of nature which are anthropomorphized or are given human qualities. In fables, animals are talking. Is everything clear, class? Okay, so let's have mystery. So mystery focused on a puzzling crime, situation, or circumstance that needs to be solved. It is anything that is kept secret or remains unexplained or unknown. And that is mystery. So we have the next one is the folklore. So folklore reflects stories told by people in a particular region. Folklore can define a population's values, beliefs, and preferred way of life with its literary themes. So folklore, in other words, it is a traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community that has passed through the generations by word of mouth. Okay, so let us again guess the next one through hearing.
Our lives disappear. Don't waste your life living for self and gain, or living for what's sin, temporal and vain. Live your life for Christ.
Alright, so what do you think it is? Okay, so we have poetry. So poetry is a literature that evokes a concentrated imaginative awareness of experience or a specific emotional response through language chosen and arranged for its meaning, sound, and rhythm. Is everything clear, class? Okay, do you have any questions? None? Okay, so let's move on. The next one, we have mythology. So mythology are more than mere stories. They serve a more profound purpose in ancient and modern cultures. Myths are sacred tales that explain the world and man's experience. So myths deals with the gods and goddesses, legendary heroes of a particular people. Okay, so let's have another one. Science fiction. Science fiction is an element of science fiction stories are imaginary. They are usually possible according to science. It is a form of fiction that deals principally with the impact of actual or imagined science upon society or individuals. Okay, let's move on to the next. We have humor. So humor intends to induce amusement or laughter, often found in literature, theater, movies, and advertising where the major purpose is to make the audience happy. So humor, it is mostly having a cheerful ending and funny remarks, as you can see there. So let's have the next one. Legend. So legend is a traditional story or group of stories told about a particular person or place. Legends resemble folktales in content. They may include supernatural beings, elements of mythology, or explanations of natural phenomena. So legend is a kind of story coming down from the past, especially one popularly regarded as historical. Okay, is everything clear, class? Okay. Do you have any questions or clarifications? None. Okay, so let's move on to the next. So we have historical fiction. So it transports readers to another time and place, either real or imagined. Writing historical fiction requires a balance of research and creativity. The genre offers a fiction writer many opportunities to tell a wholly unique story. Next one is the realistic fiction. So realistic fiction are stories resemble real life, and fictional characters within these stories react similarly to real people. Short story. It is a brief fictional prose narrative that is shorter than a novel, and that is usually deals with only a few characters. And the last one we have tall tale. So tall tale is a narrative that depicts the wild adventures of extravagantly exaggerated folk heroes. Class, is everything clear to you? Okay. So let's have the non-fiction. Earlier we tackled the fiction. Now we will discuss the non-fiction. So non-fiction is a branch of literature comprising works of narrative prose dealing with or offering conjectures or opinions upon facts or reality. So under the non-fiction we have biography. So it is simply an account or detailed description about the life of a person. It is written by someone else. While the autobiography, it is a self-written life story. It takes many forms, from the intimate writings made during life that were not necessarily intended for publication, including letters, diaries, journals, memoir, and reminiscences. Okay, let's continue. We have the essay. So essay is a short form of literary composition based on a single subject matter and often gives the personal opinion of the author. The next one is the narrative nonfiction. So it is a book that tells exciting true stories about their main characters and experiences. For the last one, we have speech and public address or discourse. So it is a language referred to the means of communication used by people. So speech is the expression of ideas and thoughts by means of articulate vocal sounds. Okay, so we're done discussing the genres of literature. So, is what you have written earlier are correct? Are really the truth and the lie? Okay, so who got it all right? Okay, so it's okay, class. At least now you know already what are the different literary genres or texts. So, do you have any question, class? None? Okay, so I'll be the one to ask you a question. Okay, so why do you think literature is important? Anyone? Yes, okay, very good, because it makes people to be more interested in reading books. My last question is, above all literary genres, what is your favorite and why? Alright, very good. Next is, I prepared a matching type activity. So for the column A, we have the genres, and for the column B, we have its meanings. So who wants to answer for number 1? The number 1 is fantasy. Okay, so it is a narrative that incorporates magical and supernatural elements. Number 2 is biography. So it is a person's life written by someone else. Third is folklore. So folklore, so it is stories told by people in a particular region. Fourth is science fiction. So it deals principally with the impact of actual or imagined science upon society or individuals. Fifth, we have autobiography. So autobiography. So it is a self-written life story. Sixth, we have fable. So fable use humanized animals, objects, or parts of nature as main characters. For the last one, we have mystery. So mystery is a puzzling crime, situation, or circumstance that needs to be solved. Good job, class. I think you are all ready for a quiz. Am I right? Okay, so for the first column, we have the icons, and for the second column, we have the genres. So what you're going to do is to answer what kind of genres shown in the pictures. For the first picture, we have a sword and a shield. For the second picture, we have a crying lady. For the third picture, we have a clown. And for the fourth picture, we have a vampire. And for the fifth picture, we have a witch hat. Answer this on your test notebook, and I will give you 5 minutes, and right after we will check your paper. Okay? Is everything clear? Are you all done? Okay, so you'll check your own paper. Remember, class, honesty is the best policy. So the answer for number 1 is historical fiction. For number 2, drama. For number 3, it is a humor. And for number 4, we have horror. And for number 5, we have fairy tale. So who got the highest score? Okay, wow, most of you got a high score. Very good, everyone. Before we end, please copy your assignment on your assignment notebook. Okay, are you all done? Thank you and goodbye, my dear students.